Now let's add the feature which lets you edit these to-do items when you click on them. Like always, we start by thinking about what we need in the state and how to transform it. We're going to add a editing value, which will be null at start. Editing is going to keep track of the index of the item that we're currently editing. So we're going to need an action to start editing that item. And it's going to need the index. And it will simply set the editing value to the index provided. Similarly, we'll need an action to stop editing, which doesn't need an index, and it will set it back to null. And while we're editing, we're going to be showing an input field, and we're going to need to capture the input in the items list at the correct index. So const input editing, and we're going to be using the with target value guard, so we don't need to use the event here. We can just take the input value directly. And let's do it like this. We'll make a copy of items from the state currently. The items state editing. The one that's currently being edited is the one where we're going to assign the input, and we'll return a copy of the state where everything is the same except we have the new items list. Okay, this seems like a reasonable set of actions we could use. Now, how will we use it? Well, when we click the text of the item, we want to start editing the index, this current index. And when that is true, then instead of rendering this stuff, we're going to render just a text input. So if state editing is equal to the index, then we'll have an input. Otherwise, we'll show the regular stuff. And this input is type text value state items index on input with target value input editing. And when we blur, stop editing. And like before in the new item input, on key press with enter key, we can also stop editing. So this should work. Let's try it. Yep. And we can blur, and it goes back to regular, or we can press enter, and it goes back to regular. So now we've added the feature of being able to edit the to-do item.